I met some famous people in my life, and at the age of 12 in 2002, it dates me a little bit, I know, I was able to meet a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now, I guarantee most of y'all don't know who he is, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. His name is Brad Johnson, and when I was 12, they went to the Super Bowl. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Oakland Raiders. Nobody remembers it because the game sucked, okay? That's how it happened. Brad grew up about 5 or 10 minutes away from me, went to the public high school down the street, you know, played a little football there. It wasn't that big till he got drafted, right? I'm from a small town. There's like one side of it. You have that road that cuts the road, the town in half, but we're only on the one side, It's called Swananoa. Shout out to all my homies back there, all right? Mom and dad. Anyway, Brad was from there, okay? Went to Owen High School. And Brad, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I gotta tell the story. They went off, won the Super Bowl. Nobody thought they could do it. Won the Super Bowl, right? Brad comes back home, hometown hero, okay? They decided, let's throw Brad a parade. So they get everybody down at this big church. They print off all extra large t-shirts, right? That's how they do stuff, That's America, like. Anyway, I don't know why, because it was a lot of women and children that were involved in the parade, right? And I was 12, like I said, so I was about Jonathan Caprell's size. I love you, man. I love you, dog. So the shirt kind of came down like a dress, and I was just so proud to be in that parade, We was doing chants. They put Brad in a Mustang convertible, put him on the back, put some trophy wife that wasn't his next to him. We was chanting, Brad, he's our man. If he can't do it, who cares? Season's over, we won, stuff like that. So we all went down to the church. We was all excited, waiting for Brad. So Brad got in the Mustang, We drove up the street. It was a big hill. I was so excited, And I thought, if I could just get close. I felt like the widow trying to reach Jesus. I could just touch Brad, And I said, it's about to happen. I was 12, I was feisty, I was scrappy. I was thinner than Justin, and I was ready. So I made my way. I was in the back. I made my way to the silver Mustang convertible. So I started to march, like the Million Man March. Y'all don't know about that. Black History Month was in February, so go back and look at it. So I started to march, and I was going. I made my way to the convertible by the grace of God. And I saw Brad in the back. I saw him in his eyes. He looked at me and he winked, And I thought, there's Brad Johnson. Nobody knew him, but now he is a hometown hero. If he can do it, put Swananoa on the map. I can do it too. And Brad was my inspiration for about 3 minutes, because this is what happened. I had that extra large t-shirt on, right? And I was so excited. So I'm gonna get Brad to sign it, okay? So I took the t-shirt off, and I made my way to the car door. We was driving up the hill about 5 miles an hour. You know how they do in parades with the Mustangs. Nobody likes those Mustangs anymore. Why do they keep putting people in the back of them? I don't know, okay? So I made my way to the car, and I took my t-shirt off, but in my hurry, it was inside out. And I threw it to Brad, just like that Super Bowl pass that he threw in the game. He caught it. And I said, yes, this is my moment. Me and Brad, right here, right now. And Brad picked up the t-shirt, and he held it out, and he looked at it. And he flipped it over, and he looked at it. And he flipped it back over, and he looked at it. And my heart started to sink, because I don't think Brad knew that t-shirt was inside out. And he sat there puzzled. And then he looked at me, and he flicked it right back at me. I froze in the middle of the street. People were passing me. The car went by. The parade was over. I was still in the same spot where he left me. My parents couldn't find me. The police department, as small as it was, couldn't find the only black kid that they had been searching for the entire time. And I was in the same place I was. Flicked it. It wasn't like a toss, like Joe Green, hey kid. Just flicked it. And he didn't say this to me, but it was in his eyes. He said, I'm the Super Bowl champ, kid, and you're never gonna make it. He flicked it. So that night, this is why y'all don't remember Brad Johnson's name. That night, I went home and I cried. And I also prayed. And this is what I said to God. I got on my knees and I said, God, as my mother would always pray, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I had to cover all the Old Testament. I said, God, help me forgive Brad Johnson, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the entire NFL organization for doing me wrong like that. And God, one more thing. Let everything Brad Johnson does crumble until he does right by me. It's not over. The following year, Brad Johnson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers only won 4 games. The year after that, Brad broke his leg. The year after that, he got traded. And the year after that, he retired.